Hello, hello. Guess what it's time for?
All right.
Hey, it's the Black Belt Newscast. It is Friday, February 21st, and we have a lot to talk about. Some's difficult, some is fun, but bear with us. It's a lot. We're going to be running a lot of videos. I want to run people talking from their own perspectives. So we're going to
Yeah.
have a few videos today of folks talking to us about what they have going on in the Black Belt. I always like to start out by reminding everybody that all of our content comes from blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. And this is where we are doing 6 counties in the Black Belt as best we can.
Yeah.
And you can get a email every day at 3 o'clock with our daily newsletter in it. And it has all the top headlines from the day. And you can also send us your news at news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. It is a great way for us to have our tentacles in all the different parts of the community. I know we try to be everywhere, but it's real hard. Especially, you guys know here in the Black Belt, everything's an hour apart. So I'm coming to you guys live from Marengo County.
And I'm live from our office in Queen City and Selma, Alabama. Dallas County.
We flip-flopped, sort of.
Yeah, we did. Last week it was the other way.
You spend a lot of time in Demopolis. I spend a lot of time in Selma. We're just kind of everywhere. Okay. We have so much going on this week that we want to get started with. And I have like hot off the presses. I just got this video from the DA, Turner, Robert Turner Jr., has spoken today at 10 o'clock this morning, not long ago, to the youth about the increase in youth violence and gun violence. And so I wanted to share with you, Valencia Benjamin, one of our really stellar community correspondents, got this for us today. And this is a message for everybody from Robert Turner.
Good afternoon, I'm Robert Turner Jr. I'm the District Attorney for the 4th Judicial Circuit, that is Bibb, Hale, Dallas, Perry, and Wilcox. Today we were out at RB Hudson on an invitation from the faculty and staff to talk to the youth about gun violence. This is one of the communities, unfortunately, that has been adversely affected by a lot of gun violence recently. And at our office, and there are several other people in the community that share the same sentiment, if we can talk to kids and let them know that their lives matter and that they are important to us, that they are loved, and that they don't deserve to have their lives ended prematurely, nor do they reserve the right to end anybody else's life prematurely, we feel like we can make a long-term effect in the community. Oftentimes when we talk to kids or adults, it's too late. It's after something has happened. So today we had a rally out here at the junior high to try to be proactive and to encourage children to make better choices and to make good choices, and to let the majority rule as opposed to the minority that seems to cause so much havoc. No kid at this age is beyond reach, but we have to do our part to try to extend our hands and our arms and our hearts to reach them wherever we can and whenever we can. So that was the purpose of this event today. And hopefully what we did was just to let them know that the community sees what's happening in the streets and we want it to stop.
Wow. And I just want to reiterate that we have had, Selma is Black Belt, it hits us too, a lot of gun violence in the young people community. So this is all stemming from the death of a 14-year-old over Valentine's Day weekend in a shooting, and a 17-year-old was arrested for his killing. And just a few weeks before that was the Selma Walmart killing of a 40-year-old man who was in his truck. And it was the 4 that were arrested for that killing were all young people, ages 16 to 20. It was a shootout among young people in the parking lot, and this guy was an innocent bystander. Now, I want to switch over. I don't know about quickly or not, but here we go. There was a youth violence meeting. I spent my Saturday night last week, 3 hours of it, with a group of leaders that came together to talk about the increase of youth violence. It was arranged by Reverend Evelyn Manns,
Mhm.
and her thought was, there's Evelyn Manns. Let's get everybody together and talk about how we can improve things. This is Brittany Martin. Her brother was Marcus Martin, who was killed in the Walmart parking lot. And she spoke a lot about how much she's going to miss him and how he should never have died. That is Minister Cleophas Mann. He gave a prayer before, but if you can see behind him that to the right, that is Marcus Martin's family. That's Brittany, his mother Leslie, and that I believe that's his brother. And then to the left in the red is Joyce O'Neill. She spoke. Now this is really sweet. So there was a group of young people that came, young males mostly. There's a girl there in the end, but it was mostly boys, and he had a tough time talking about it, talking to us about it. But what they had said is that there's not enough things for young people to do. And they need skating rinks and young people things, go-karts and movies and options to keep them busy. I have seen a lot of activity with Selma High with kicking up their practices, like for sports, because sports is a really great place to keep people active, keep young people active. But that's Billy Young, the council president. I guess I didn't get any video. The Mayor James Perkins Jr., he also spoke. And you know that both him and the mayor have stories of having gunshots in their homes in Selma.
Yeah, I've heard
They
that.
both have bullet holes in their houses and from the gun violence. And it's difficult to hear. The mayor even had said that a bullet was taken from his house from a shooting to be tested, and he has still not heard back from the police about it and whether it's okay or whether it's attached to someone that may used a gun before. So there is a big push for finding more activities. The most active that came out of that youth violence meeting, was talking about having more discussions with the police about community liaisons and where they can meet with them, because there was a concern about one resident said when she makes complaints about gunshots in her yard or near her, that they will tell the people that they come by and make them stop shooting. They'll tell them who complained, and that's pointing the finger at her, the whistleblower.
Yeah,
and that's dangerous to do.
Yeah.
So she is going to be working on a better relationship with the mayor or with the police department. And also Joyce O'Neill that I mentioned in the red, she had a lot of stories of calling the police and having gunfights in her front yard or shooting into the house next door. So it was there was a lot of reality check happening at that meeting. And hopefully, they said they may have another meeting. So look for blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, and we'll let you know if there's going to be another meeting. Now, you actually got a chance to talk to the Selma Police Chief today. What did he have to talk about?
We talked mostly about safety for the Jubilee in light of the murders and the shootings. And I just got off the phone with him. We're going to have another interview coming up soon where we get a little more in depth about what we need to do to curb some of this. And one of the things he said after that interview, as we were talking and getting ready for the next one, he said, in the 4 murders that we've had, they've made arrests. Okay, so all the people that were responsible are arrested. But now the courts have it. So we need to find out, what are the courts going to do about it? It's going to be the next step is, are they going to slap them on the wrist, or are they going to send them away? So we need to find out.
Them are charged with capital murder. So it's starting strong, and no bond.
Yes.
No bond.
And we want it to stay strong. And that's the thing. We want it to stay strong. We don't want them back out on the streets too soon.
Well, let's
But
listen to what Fulford had to say. We have a 6-minute video, so hang in with us.
yeah, no, this is a good interview about what's coming up for the Jubilee. So let's see what he had. Joining us today, I have sitting next to me is Selma Police Chief Kenta Fulford. Thank you so much, Chief Fulford, for spending some time with us today.
Yes, sir. No problem.
I wanted to get you in. Originally wanted to do it out at the Sound of Selma Park where we have the bridge in the background, but it's 30 degrees out
Yes,
today.
sir. It's a little cool out there today.
Yeah, it's a little cool.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're going to stay inside today, but I wanted to talk about the preparations for the upcoming 60th Bridge Crossing Jubilee and the things that the Selma Police are doing to make sure that everybody that's here in town that week will be safe.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, what we did at the end of the last Jubilee, we started prepping for this one.
Wow.
Yes, sir. What we did, we always reach out to other departments because we know that Selma will grow during that week, and we asked for some assistance from other departments, and we reached out to them, and we got some great response. And we will have plenty of help here to make sure that everyone not only enjoy it, but to be safe.
Who are some of the other departments, or what are some of the other departments that will be helping?
Montgomery PD, Demopolis PD, Birmingham PD, Prattville PD. So, yes, sir, they respond well every year.
And I know Dallas County Sheriff's Department is also a big supporter of Selma Police, so they'll be, I'm sure, helping.
Yes, sir, most definitely. The Sheriff's Office will be assisting us during that weekend, and also Aaliyah will be here.
Oh, yeah, good deal. Wow, that's going to be a lot of folks.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
What are some of the things that we could tell the general public to be aware to help prevent anything happening to themselves?
Well, the main thing is always be aware of your surroundings. When you get out of your vehicles, no matter where you park, make sure they're locked. No weapons are allowed during the festival or during the Jubilee at all. We'll have a clear book bag policy. So there'll be, we'll have 2 entries into the Jubilee. So we want to make sure that we have everything as secure as we can. So be aware of your surroundings. Make sure no weapons are in the area. And like I said, we have clear bag policies. And like I said, we just want everybody to be safe.
Well, and that's a good thing. And you said there's going to be 2 entrances. Where will those entrances be, and what roads will be blocked off?
Well, right now, we will have our final committee meeting next Wednesday, and we will put that information out after that.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
that's still kind of up in the air.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there will be a lot of folks in town. So other than the visitors, what do we as folks that live here need to do to make the visitors welcome?
Yes, sir. Just show good Southern hospitality. Because like I said, we have them come from Chicago, Washington, D.C., I mean, from all over the United States. Like I said, just be courteous. Just know that because Selma will grow during that time, be mindful that where it used to take you 2 or 3 minutes to get to a location, it might take you 10 or 15 now. So don't have road rage and, flip them off and things like that. So, hey,
Right.
just be courteous. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's a big one too. Because I mean, 10, 15 minutes if you're lucky. Sometimes
Yes, sir.
it would be longer than that.
That's
So
correct.
The main thing is just to, as they say, just kind of chill out and be cool.
Yes, sir. Because like I said, downtown will be congested during that time. So, and all our hotels are already booked. They were booked at the end of the last Jubilee.
Wow.
So
okay.
we will be extra patrolling all our hotels to make sure that no one vehicle is being broken into.
Right. The parking lots.
Yes,
stuff
sir.
Like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Great. Is there anything else that you would want to let I've actually had questions since we've had shootings and murders, and people are concerned with that. So are there any areas of town that people need to avoid having these type problems or anything like that?
Well, the thing of it is, it's not just one area where we've had the shootings at. So we just want people to be aware of this around no matter what part of town that they're in. But like I say, we will have additional support during that week. So we want there will be a great officer presence. So we want the people to not so much focus on the violence of the city. We want them to come and enjoy it, but know that the police is out there doing their jobs.
What if there is a problem? What should somebody, a victim of a crime or whatever, do? How should they handle it?
Of course, 911 is the first thing. If you see something, say something. It might not be going on with you. You see something going on with someone else. don't hesitate to pick up the phone, dial 911, get the police en route, get an ambulance en route if it's a medical emergency, so we can get there and take care of things as quick as we can.
And if the ambulance or the police are en route and they are in an area that's congested, I guess you would recommend people to get out of the way.
That's correct. Please do. Sometimes people freeze up, and I understand, when the lights come on, they see them, they don't know what to do. But the law says pull over to the right. That way you're out of the way, and the officers or paramedics can get to where they need to be.
Right. Now, oftentimes the bridge is closed down. Has that been determined when that's going to happen yet, or is that something that you'll still need to determine in that meeting?
On the next Wednesday, I says, our final meeting,
Okay,
and
so that's still,
we'll have all that concrete then.
So if you'll, I'm going to be sure to get that from you so that we can let everybody know.
Yes, sir.
The travel around town becomes challenging during that weekend, and so we want to be sure everybody knows where to go. So.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that you would like to include to let everybody know that either whether they're visiting or live here? Or...
Well, look out. We will be having signs throughout showing different routes so they can get in and out of Selma without so much congestion. So look out for the signs. Like I said, we're going to try to make it as smooth as possible for visitors and the citizens of Selma when they during the Jubilee week.
Great. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us here, and I really do appreciate you what you're doing to help make it safe. So
thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Chief,
sir. My pleasure.
We will see you again.
All right. So that is talking to Chief Fulford and getting ready for the Jubilee, which, as you know, is the 60th annual. It is going to bring so many more people here. And it is a bit of a concern when we've had some issues with and there may be folks that come that don't know about this, but we sure do.
Yeah.
And most folks come with the idea of having a great time and learning and participating in, very thoughtful process. It is a meaningful week.
It's full of events that are meant to bring people together and promote peace.
To make fights and fuss. So we actually have, and I was going to say the schedule was released by the organizers yesterday, at least the start of who is going to be coming.
Yeah.
Usually about now we get a long list of senators and other politicians that will be there. We don't expect to be the president or the vice president this year, as we've had in the past. Not the same makeup this time, but so no Beyoncés have been announced or presidents have been announced yet. But go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. You can see the schedule so far. But actually, some events have already started, and that includes this bike ride.
Oh, God, yeah, that was great.
That bike ride. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, this happened yesterday. It was the Marion to Selma bike ride. It was put on by a lot of folks, including our Black Belt Benefit Group. And this was to commemorate the actual beginning of the civil rights movement, which was sparked by Jimmy Lee Jackson being shot in Marion. And that was national outrage that led to what became the civil rights movement. And it actually, the original plan was to march from Marion through Selma to Montgomery, but that got modified and it went from Selma to Montgomery. But this particular bike ride, and there's the bicycle nomad who we did a story on him about 6 months ago. He was in town, and I got to talk to him for a little while, and he was talking about how he does this. He goes around the country and retraces historic steps. And he was talking about how important and how historic this particular segment of this march is, because it's oftentimes forgotten that it actually started in Marion and came to Selma. After the ride, they all got together in Arts Revive and warmed up a little bit and had some coffee and some fruit cups, and then they went for a full lunch at Reflections. But these folks were from all over the country. As they're lining up for the final picture with the bridge in the background at the finish line there. But there was 35 participants that started in Marion, about 8. They got to Selma shortly before noon, around 11, between 11 and noon. And they were talking about how cold it was when they started. One of the guys was telling me that when you start the ride, it's cold. But once you get going, your blood starts pumping,
Yeah.
you get warm. But if you stop, you get cold again. So he didn't want to stop. He kept going. But
Well, I think they have another one that starts in the morning, tomorrow morning, that goes from Selma to Montgomery.
yes, that's a little bit different. It's related, but it's a different group. A lot of these guys that cycled yesterday will be cycling in this ride, and this one picks up in Selma and goes all the way to Montgomery. So, and like I said, it's a little bit different, but it's the same, if that makes sense.
So we actually have another event that's already happened with the Selma 60 Health Fair.
Right.
We talked a little bit about this. We advanced that it was coming, and it was hosted by Senator Robert Stewart, and Representative Prince Chestnut. And they had a panel discussion. And this is the nurses that worked at Good Samaritan Hospital, which was our safety net hospital in town.
Right.
I have a little bit of video from Valencia Benjamin, our star correspondent that was at the event. It's also, I know, she's done so great. And she has written a story that I haven't had a chance to put up yet either. So we just appreciate when they hit record. And that's what I'm saying. If y'all are at the event, just hit record.
There you go.
So this is an example of the event that happened. So look for the full story at Selma's or blackbeltnewsnetwork.com.
And of course, we've also spoken with, who one of the nurses at Good Samaritan was Miss Jeannie Evans, the former mayor's wife. And so I spoke with her, and she's in the process of getting in touch with a couple of the other former Good Samaritan nurses, and we're going to interview them and talk to them, which, of course, those interviews will be posted at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com also, and kind of get, straight from their thoughts and their hearts, and find out what they went through, and their thoughts.
Next week, and we'll have that in time for the 60th, which is March 6th through 9th. But really, it's that whole week before. So fun. And it's exciting to see people come in, and so excited to see Selma and experience what you and I see every day.
Yeah. And you know what else? What I love is talking to these people that were there and getting the real perspective, because I don't care what anybody says. The history books don't always get it right.
Yeah, it's really
hearing it from the people who were there gives you a whole new perspective on history. And I can't wait to talk to the nurses. I'm also working to try to get some of the foot soldiers and talk to some of them again, because I love talking to them.
Yes, and I got Annie Pearl during the, I don't know, last year before, right after the tornado.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Yeah, I remember that. That was a good interview.
To get folks at the Foot Soldiers Breakfast, and we're going to be all around that weekend and that week. So
right,
stay at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. I'm going to skip over to some other news.
Okay, what else we got going on?
We do have more going on. Selma Redevelopment Authority has new leadership. We have reported already. So this is Rose Wilkins, and she has the City Blocks Wellness, and she is the new chairman. And they're looking to go to become a member of Main Street. This is Sarah Aguido, and she is the new executive director. And they haven't had that position in a while, so it's exciting to see what she's got going. And you've got a chance to talk to her, or going to talk to her.
Yes, she wanted to have a couple of meetings with the folks and kind of get acclimated. And she and I are going to sit down and have a video interview that, of course, will be a print story, and it'll be a video interview on Black Belt News Network. That's coming up in the next few days as well. So we're going to be real busy over the next couple of weeks, aren't we?
Really busy. I know.
I like it like that. I don't want to just sit around.
Trying to get all the voices that are involved in all the decision making around town. All right.
Exactly.
I want to throw over to Perry County for a second to give a shout out to RC Hatch. The boys and the girls are making it to the Final Four.
Wow.
Yes, they both won their area championship, the regional championship, and here they are going for the state championship. And it has been 8 years since either team, 2017. And I want to give a shout out to this photographer, John Bates. Is that right?
Yeah, that's John Bates. Correct.
Teenager I want to say he's at Francis Marion, but he took these pictures. So that's the fun thing is watching this. So the boys, these are such great pictures. We need to hire him.
I'm telling you, I'm going to go talk to him, get some lessons.
So, actually, the boys, RC Hatch, beat Keith in Dallas County in order to make it to the Final Four. And the girls, RC Hatch, beat Francis Marion down the street to make it to the Final Four. So there was some really big competition. These are teams that play each other several times during the year.
Big rivalries, yeah.
Huge rivalries throughout. I mean, basketball is pretty hot and fun this year, and our reporters have had a blast with it. So excited to see. And we will keep you posted on how they do. Go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com under sports. And I usually put it as a featured item up there when they do really good as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's so exciting. Oh,
I love it.
It's time for Black Belt Roundup.
Roundup.
I need another little thing I put up when the roundup comes up. A little graphic or something.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do roundup items. Okay, this is cool. There's a family in Selma, the Curry family.
Uh-huh.
And they, did I hit play? It should be playing. So they have a, I don't know, is it playing? I might have lost the link.
Uh-oh.
Who? So actually, I know what I did wrong.
Well, I hear it.
It's harder for me to do it where it's a screen. It's supposed to be a screenshot. Anyway. So this family lost their home in the tornado, the 2023 tornado, and their son Alfonso made a video about it. And they've been airing it several times, and they're airing it again during Jubilee on Friday and Saturday. Go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and get the times, because one of them is at noon, another one is at 6. So and then I think that's Friday, and then Saturday is like 6:30 and 8. So you get popcorn. It's like $10, and it's really worth it to go see what they went through. And they even got to go to DC for the State of the Union that year with Terry Sewell. So anyway, go check out this film that will be playing during Jubilee. This weekend is a severe weather tax-free weekend, so you can get supplies that you be prepared. We've already had rotten weather. And actually an EF1 hit Perry hail last week. Was it last week? Week before? Very recent. So
yeah, I think so.
And I wanted to show this too. Oh, maybe I don't have it up. Okay. There is a photo exhibit in Camden at the Camden shoe shop and quilt shop. And it will be of Black sharecroppers from the early 1900s.
Wow.
And there's 78 photos that will be showing from February 28th through September 1st. So it starts next Friday. And that looks like it's worth stopping in to check out. And, the schools are getting geared up with new superintendents. And that includes Demopolis. And the board last week approved new principals for next year and their calendar for 25-26.
Yeah.
So go check that out, blackbeltnewsnetwork.com under the education tab. And you can see who got tapped as principals.
Hey, speaking of education and history, it's a little far out, but start making plans, because coming up the last weekend in March, which I think that's the 29th and 30th or 30th and 31st, and then the first weekend in April, which is April 5th and 6th, at Dewaney Fields in Perry County, is going to be a huge Selma Ren Fair. It's a Renaissance fair, and it's going to be open to the public. There's information on Facebook, so you can go to Facebook and put in Selma Ren Fair or Dewaney, DALWHINNIE Fields. Also, the first week, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm actually dress up in period garb and perform. And then the next week, of course, that's 2 weekends in a row. But that second weekend on April 5th is also the 200th anniversary of Lafayette visiting Old Cahaba when it was still New Cahaba. and I'm gonna be there for that weekend. But that's coming up as well. So it's going to be a whole reenactment kind of a thing as well. So just put those on your calendar and think about them because they're coming up. They're going to be a lot of fun. We'll have more details as it gets closer, but I just want to kind of put that in everybody's back of your mind so that you'll have it on your calendar coming up. It's going to be fun.
You can also cover these things as a community correspondent.
Yeah.
We just added Portia Shepherd. Yay, Portia.
Thank you, Portia.
I know. We can't wait and I want her to come on the show sometimes to talk about her, and she's really excited about that.
We'll have her come in and give a report.
So, and she's going to be covering like Perry County, Hale County. She does Demopolis. I'm at those too. You and I, we all share Demopolis right now, but this would be so great to add some of the more western of our coverage area. She's even planning to cover York. So all kinds of great stuff coming up. We have a Facebook page for the Black Belt Outdoors.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah, it is actually pretty awesome. We have a good 500 followers that are seeing what we're doing, and we posted deer pictures during the season, and then as we kick into the fishing tournaments, which I know my son is doing one with the Demopolis River City group this weekend. Yeah, it's in Utah, out of Utah. So as we get these results, we are going to share them on our Black Belt Outdoors page. And
I know Maddie Mendenhall is taking sign-ups for the Bridgeport.
Yes, that's coming
Bridgeport tournaments that she has there. So that's all cooking. That's all starting to come to a head now. That and turkey season.
Yes.
So we'll be having stuff about all that.
Yes.
I made some phone calls about doing some interviews on that just recently.
No,
so hopefully we'll have that.
Yummy is wild turkey.
Oh my Lord, yes.
Fried in a skillet.
I like the food and the drink.
I like I like deer meat too. I'm all on it.
Ooh, man, I love venison.
Okay,
love
so
venison.
Actually, you can send your pictures for outdoors to outdoors. Ooh, not that one. Outdoors at BlackBeltNewsNetwork.com.
Yeah, send it to us.
Yeah,
I do have one other thing, Cindy, that I wanted to mention for our roundup. We have a story coming out about my friend Burgess Bailey, who comes down from West Virginia every year with his motor home, and he honors the foot soldiers. This year, he's also honoring Vietnam veterans who died in Vietnam, who are from the Black Belt, but he also is wanting to honor living veterans. March 1st, the Saturday before the actual bridge crossing Jubilee, he's going to do a motorcade that starts in Marion and goes all the way to the Lowndes County Interpretive Center. He does this every year. This year, he's inviting and asking all of our veterans to join the motorcade. And he's doing it in honor of James Moody, who is from the Selma area, who died in Vietnam in 1965, but was also a foot soldier. So in March, he marched across the bridge. Then he got shipped off to Vietnam and got killed in action. So it's in his honor and in honor of all the Vietnam veterans. So he said, when I talked to Mr. Bailey, he said, the veterans didn't have a parade when they came home, the Vietnam veterans. He wants to give them one. So that's what they're going to do. As a matter of fact, too, I also talked to some of our VFW folks, and at this point, they're planning to join that motorcade, and they'd like to have more folks do it. That's March 1st. They'll line up in Marion at 8 and take off at 9. Great.
And we have a story in our print edition of the Selma Sun print edition, and it will be posted on BlackBeltNewsNetwork.com soon.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we often wait on our print stories. We let them get
let them get a little coverage first.
All right. We always like to thank our sponsors.
Thank you, Mr. Miller, for sponsoring us.
Yes, and Betty Miller. Give a thoughtful final gift to your family. Pre-plan. Meet with their advisors, and you can help save your family from having to make these hard decisions, and it'll happen the way you want it to happen. And it also can save you money. Call them 334-874-9081. Great people. We love working with them. And you could be a sponsor. you email us, news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. You may want to get your name out there. It's a great way to get known and grow your business. And
Yeah.
I haven't said anything yet this time, but we take donations.
We do.
We make sure that all of our content is free. You do not get stopped at my web at the blackbeltnewsnetwork.com saying pay first before you can read this content, because we think everyone should have access to our content, but we can't do the reporting for free. So help us out. Make a donation, even if it's just $10 a month.
Yeah, just anything.
Every
little bit helps.
It is such great content, and it helps us and the rest of the region be able to tell. Because I started this because I said, you know what? No one else is putting up news out of this rural area of Alabama. And we've made it our mission. Todd and I barely sleep doing this, do we?
Yeah, I know, but it's a labor of love.
We love it. It's our civic duty, but we do it for free.
No complaints, but
adding Portia, for instance, has been a blessing. We pay her. We pay Valencia. We love being able to have a staff that can be on boots on the ground. You can join that boots on the ground, as I said earlier. Send your resume to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. You don't have to have a lot of experience. We actually can help you with that. Sometimes we just attend a meeting and get the bullet points, and we can help formulate that into a story. But if you're at an event, take the picture, send it to us, share it, because we feel like we are a community service and we're doing this all together. So that's my passion, and I'm through with that.
There you go.
Yeah, but yes, you can make a donation, help us out. You can write with us and join this. This is a lot of fun. You're missing out if you're not joining us. At least read us, watch us, and then maybe write for us.
That would be great.
Okay.
We would appreciate it.
Whew. That was a lot of stuff today. We will see you guys next Friday.
Yeah, y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you Friday.
And as we prepare for the big stuff coming and just the little things, have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next Friday.
Thank you.